This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're looking at the Maytag Neptune stacked washing machine that has a leak. We're going to try and figure out where the leak could be. I'm going to take a good look at this gray rubber boot to make sure that I don't see any little tears or holes in the boot. And so far it looks good. I'm just going to look here, mainly at the bottom is where most of the leaks would occur. But there should be a little hole down there that's for drainage. That's normal, but you shouldn't see any tears or other holes. Sometimes that can occur and that can cause a leak near the front of the washing machine. But this gasket looks pretty good. There's not even any mold, so it's in pretty good shape. So another thing we can do is remove the door and the front panel and then put the door back and then run it and look for where the water might be leaking. So I'm using a Phillips head screwdriver to zip out the two screws that hold on the door, and then I'll kind of grab the door and wiggle it out toward me. And then there's a couple little screws here on the right hand side too that we have to remove. Then we can take off the front panel. Take off that one. We take off the top one. And then you grab the upper arms of the panel, pull it towards you, and get the panel almost down 90 degrees, and then you can lift it up off of the little clips at the bottom. Now with that out of the way, we'll put the door back on, and then we'll close the door and run it and see if we can see where the leak's occurring. So just take your time here. You want to put the hinges back into the slots, and you got to kind of wiggle them in and push, and it'll lock them in. And then we just put the two Phillips head screws back in. Close the door, and we'll turn it on, have it fill, and then take a look and see if we can see the leak. Start it up. It takes a little while for it to completely fill, and while it's filling, you can just look at that rubber gasket again, see if it's come loose. There's a ring around it that holds it on, but maybe that's come loose. You can look at these black tubes to see if any of them have come loose. And then you can also look in with your flashlight at the pump in the back, middle on the back lower part of the frame. You'll see the drain pump, and just look for any forensic evidence of a leak. There's a lot of lint that's built up underneath the door. Maybe that's where there was a leak. This is during the spin cycle, seeing if we can see any kind of a leak. So with the panel off, you'll be able to see where maybe a leak is occurring. Also, you can look underneath the door, make sure there's no lint or hair caught here that would cause an imperfect seal. And then same thing with the gray boot. You can feel that, make sure that it's intact and there's no hair or dog fur caught there that would make a seal that isn't watertight. So we're looking again at this drain tube, looking at the other black tube, this one, and not seeing any kind of a leak. With this one, it turned out that the timer was stuck and it wasn't progressing, so it would just keep filling. So that's where the leak was coming from. So thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance.